Hey, good Saturday morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here in the North Georgia Majestic Weather Studios with the severe weather update here on your Saturday, June 7th, 2025. Now, before we get going, I got to ask everybody to please make sure you share this with your family and friends. We're going to want to keep everybody informed as best as possible. And also, we're going through a rebuild. We had a little bit of copyright infringements with our old name with one of the stations down in Metro Atlanta. And so we have to do a complete reset. We lost our entire page and we're starting all over again. So please help us out. Let's share this with as many folks as possible. Make sure you hit that like button here on the page and let's get this rebuild back up as quickly as possible. Now let's go and look what's going on this morning. We've got some active severe weather back off toward our west. This is heading over toward areas of Oklahoma and Arkansas. There you see the severe weather kind of coming into Fort Smith right now. And it's these complex of storms that are going to be moving from west to east as they move in across the south. That's going to be the big troublemakers here for today. Let's go ahead and look at the breakdown on this. Let's look at the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. This was updated this morning. May go through an update a little bit later this afternoon, but we'll see. But for right now, we're going to be watching these storms again right into this zone and as they travel this direction. And right now, the timing on this appears to be sometime after 6 o'clock here coming in across North Georgia. The big threat's going to be damaging winds, okay, 60 to 70 miles per hour. So let's go ahead and break down the category. Again, these type of complex of these storms are not usually big tornado makers. They can make them, but they're not as high as other types of systems. So you see that path there. That's basically we're hearing about 2% into that zone right here. So you're looking at 2 to 4%. In there, maybe an isolated tornado or two. We're seeing a few of those tornado warnings out there this morning, so we can't rule those out here for today. But the big story is going to be the fact the damaging wind threat's going to be running very high, running about 30 to 44%. That's in that red zone right there. Again, from Arkansas, stretching back into Mississippi, parts of Tennessee, Alabama, and of course, a lot of North Georgia in that enhanced zone as well. There will be a hail threat with this. Again, not overly high, but in that yellow zone, running about 15%. And I think hail greater than 1 inch, a possibility, but it shouldn't be too terribly bad. I'm not expecting like baseball-sized hail, nothing like that. But we could see some pockets of some heavy hail here and there with a few of these storms. All right, so looking at the big picture here, again, you can look at the storms there on the satellite picture, kind of blossoming up like big cotton balls there in the middle of the country. And again, these storms are causing a lot of problems out in here, and they'll move into our area here coming in toward this evening. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the latest on this with looking at the latest from as far as the latest data is confirmed, latest high resolution data here. So let's go ahead and switch over to the model data. We're going to track this for you. Again, watch this as I show you the timestamp. Let me get this turned back on for you. Hold on one second. I didn't have my timestamp on. There we go. And you can watch that timestamp right up in here so you can kind of see what's going on here as this thing moves on in. So this is those complex of storms. Again, coming over to Memphis by 1 o'clock, coming into Alabama about 3. So 3 or 4 o'clock Eastern time, we're coming into Alabama. We'll probably start doing a live coverage around 3 or 4 o'clock. I will put the link here on the Facebook page going over to our YouTube channel so you can watch our severe weather coverage. And again, right now, the timing coming into northwest Georgia comes in around 6 o'clock. That's what it's showing right there, coming in up toward Dade County by 6. So the window right now looks like between 6 and 10 o'clock as this moves on through. And there'll be some very strong gusty winds along this boundary. There's 7 o'clock as this thing's starting to move in up toward Fannin County here, moving on in. And then this kind of moves out toward Towns County, coming back in toward Harrison County here as we go toward 9 o'clock. So there's that window, 6 o'clock coming on in. Looks like coming into Metro Atlanta between 8 and 9 o'clock forward tonight, into the Gainesville area and heading up toward Clayton as well by 9 o'clock. And then this moves on through. Now, we'll get a little bit of a reprieve for tomorrow, and then we may see another round of severe weather again on Monday. But obviously, we got to get through this one for today. So again, look very closely. I want to back this up once again so everybody is kind of tracking. Again, coming across Alabama between 3 o'clock and basically 7, 8 o'clock there. So you see it kind of come across Alabama, and then coming into North Georgia between basically 6 o'clock and then moving out by about the time we get to 10, 11 o'clock. So that is our window right now. And of course, I'm going to be watching this very closely to see how these storms behave and how they evolve. Again, there's the picture right now. We do have the tornado watches back over toward Arkansas and Oklahoma. It'll be interesting to see what kind of watch we get later today. It really will depend on how these storms are behaving as they move from west to east, whether it's going to be a severe thunderstorm watch or tornado watch. I think it really is irrelevant at this point. I still think the tornado risk is relatively low, but the big risk along that squall line is going to be some very strong damaging winds up to potentially 70 miles per hour. So the best thing y'all can do, the weather today is going to be looking pretty good. So get your yard work done. It's going to be hot and humid out there. Get the yard work done. And then later today, make sure you secure your lawn furniture, your umbrellas on the back porch like I've got here. Bring in your trash cans. Make sure they're not going to get blown in the neighbor's yard. If we are going to have some hail possibility, maybe you want to bring your car in the garage here for today. Just prepare yourself for the storms that are moving on into the area. The storm reports yesterday, we were showing up some 300 plus. There were 11 tornadoes yesterday out toward Texas, predominantly, a couple there into areas of Missouri and Arkansas. But I don't know if we're going to see quite that many today, but I think we'll see a similar number of damage reports, 300 or above, just for the fact that this is going to be moving over a more populated area here. And I think we're probably going to see more storm reports come in here with this storm system. It moves on in. So again, kind of recapping once again what's going on with this. Again, you guys need to be on the lookout here as we're going to be seeing a pretty active weather day here for today. Again, I'm going to rehash this once again as you're hearing the alarms going off for the active weather going on currently out there this morning. A lot of North Georgia here is under enhanced area of severe weather. We're talking level 3. So again, prepare for this. Again, the window right now, as we're currently tracking it from the latest model data, is between 6 and 11 o'clock tonight. So please get yourself prepared and ready for these storms to blow through your neighborhoods. All right, that's y'all's update. Again, help us rebuild our channel as fast as possible. Let's get our audience back. Please make sure you're a follower on this page. You guys take it easy, and we'll see you with another update here a little bit later today. You guys have a good day. Bye-bye.